get into a pen of crossbred males here. These are going to be litter mate 9-litter hogs. The 9s are going to be major league next contestant, never before, kiss my socks. So we would have raised that champion barrow at the perfect time in barrow battle there the year before. It brings 22,000. Kept all his litter mate sisters. So this would be the first litter out of those. The other ones are coming here a little later. And then so these guys' grandma would also be the mother of Trick Pony there at Hoff Shoulders. That was our leadoff at Kings. Boar that's not named yet there at Mullets. That was our leadoff at Holy Smoke. And then Gilt the Ham Crew has in Oklahoma that are winning a bunch. The belted one's going to be 9-11. The black-headed barrow is going to be 9-7. And again, we'll see what these guys like to think about them. And I'll tell you maybe at the end on endpoints and what we think here.
So we can start with the 911 because Abby's got him on the stick here, and I'll be perfectly blunt. I don't really care what these guys say about that one. That's a dang good one. I mean, that barrow just we can talk about all the parts and pieces of him, and maybe I'll let Jim describe him. He's definitely got more experience on the eye than I do for sure, but that guy's really good. I mean, everywhere you look at that barrow, he exceeds expectations, I would say. And if you want to talk about one that's stout featured, he's overly stout featured. If you want to talk about one that's got muscle and spread, I mean, he's got plenty and beyond that. And if you want to talk about one that's just square and really good built, I mean, he checks those boxes as well too. I think an awful lot of that barrow and just the opportunities that he presents in terms of a quality hog that can compete at I would say any level, and doesn't need to be maybe managed a little bit. I'm not going to say you just take that one home and put him on a full feeder by any means. I think that wouldn't be good. But if you've got any experience feeding hogs at all, I would look at that one and look at that one awfully hard because he's a dang good sucker. We talk about the black-headed barrow. I think it's almost unfortunate he's in here with his brother, but guys, just study that one over there in the corner by himself. I think in terms of look and extension, that one's awfully good, and kind of reminds me of some of the other ones. And when you get kind of a greener one in a litter like this, remember back to the 9-litter females we look at his brother in the pen. This guy's got the pedigree for muscle. He's got the muscle in his family type. I mean, it's going to come. So don't be scared of him because he's built absolutely flawless in terms of hip and hind leg and reach on both ends. He's just about as good looking as you can make one from the side and has a really cool color pattern that definitely attracts your eye. So take that one home, push him real hard, and get him where he needs to be. And I think the muscle and all the other things come. We talk about bone on that guy. Sometimes we don't like to feed the skinnier green ones because they don't have bone, but this guy does. I mean, he's got the bone and he's got the power and the foot size to kind of match that. So I don't question him at all in terms of muscle down the road. I think that one comes with it and has the build and the look to match it.
Well, Jake mentioned, having experienced eye or whatever. You got to understand, it's all opinions, and
That's right.
Doesn't make any of us right. It's the way we may like him, and you call one of us if you got issues on any of the pigs or what we think really seriously
Absolutely.
think, and it's just strictly dependent. Same as a hog judge, they're just opinions, but have some rhyme or reason what you do and be able to explain them, and it's all fine, it's all good. Some of us like to feed them different, some of us like to start them different, and it's all okay, and that's why we got so many different shapes and sizes. This belt one in the middle. I would see that one's optimum point being that early mid-August type of range.
Later.
That one could be stretched almost to Highland County for September, and be killer. That one is very extreme proportion, but he's not messed up. He's a shot more moderate in his kind. We've looked at the litter mates, and we know how good that litter is. There's some of them are bigger and greener. This is the other direction. I would go a little later with him, or expect to be a lighter weight when it Columbus on down or whatever. But that one there is really heavy bone and awesome skull. I love his skull. Really good from the side and chest floor, and how much muscle he's got, and still handles it well and reaches good behind. That's just to feed him different than you will the black-headed one. Black-headed one is the epitome of green, and he is a more elevated. He doesn't have a lot of pounds. He's a more elevated, bigger kind of hog. I could give a flip less if he's 20 pounds lighter or whatever. He's a bigger type of a hog. He's going to have more elevation and more look, and if he kicks in gear on his appetite, which he should. If he kicks in gear on his appetite, you can feed that one as hard and roll as hard as you want to go. And you could probably get him shown, I think, and be looking the part earlier and still be good late because he is a few pounds lighter. I think you got those options because of the type and kind. It's not necessarily pounds, but as long as appetite's good and you can roll, I think that you can feed lots of muscle and shape into that thing. I love feeding those green ones. They're fun to watch develop just overnight almost.
Yep, absolutely. And again, I fully agree. The Belden one, which was 911, I think guys through the barn, I've told them, I mean, I think that's a Midwest State Fair barrel that you can get to Labor Day if you need to. And again, frame wise and just how that sound line's fed, I really think I think a bunch of that pig right now on the pen. And to be honest, though, I really think you would like that one better when he's at your house for a week, because the guy sitting beside me can tell you he looks like he likes to eat feed, and he likes to eat feed when he's actually getting hand fed and taken care of like a show pig does. I think he's going to look even better. And then the black-headed barrel, I think as far as end date goes, could be interesting. I think he's one of those ones you get him home, you gauge his appetite, because I really think that one could fit a mid to late July standpoint as long as appetite keeps up with him, because like Jim said, you can push and shove on that one, but in the same breath, I think that one also gets to August pretty easy. But I wouldn't be scared to shove and push on that one realistically, as long as appetite keeps up with, which again, nothing's guaranteed, but sow line wise, typically these ones will eat every ounce you put in front of them. So Bowdoin's 911, black-headed is 9.7.